Yes. Okay. So good morning, guys. Once again, and for today's agenda, so we are going to understanding about the DevOps. So what is the DevOps only? So what is DevOps and why DevOps will come into the picture? And we are also explain about the course content and course content and duration of this course. Duration of this course. So one more time, I'm going to request everyone. So please mute yourself. And if you have any questions, so from today onwards, guys. So don't think that, okay? Don't hesitate to ask me any kind of questions. Okay. So suppose if you don't know about the software, if you don't know about the development, if you don't know about the teams, if you don't know about the any kind of some terminologies which are using in our real-time scenario, so don't hesitate. So you can ask me any question. Okay. So we can answer. So because see, your intention is to learn the DevOps and you need to work. That's why whatever the questions in your mind, you can happily ask in our open forum. This is for open forum. Okay. So coming to the DevOps side, so I prepared some PPT here. So why we are going for why I'm directly go to the DevOps, why I gave some kind of introduction about these kind of tool. So if you go to the interviews, guys, initially they are asking some kind of the basic questions. So why the DevOps? Why the DevOps will come into the picture, and what are the process we are using in the DevOps? So all the things they are using. So my screen is not visible, guys.
Yeah,
So
it's
we are able to see you clearly. It's fine.
No, 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 no. Now it's fine. Yeah, guys, please. Now it's fine, na? I hope you guys are able to see my screen. Correct?
I'm
Yes,
not able
yes, yes.
to from lab.
So actually, whoever is not able to listen that, just try to rejoin that call. Maybe you're having that issue. Okay. So yeah, come to the point. Okay? Guys, guys, please, I am requesting one more time. So if you have more number of guys, I am requesting one more time. If you have more number of people, so please mute yourself. That is the best process. Okay, right. So in the DevOps side, so we need to understanding about the what is the DevOps. Okay, so if you see this world, guys, since 6 to 7 years onwards, 6 to 7 years onwards, this word is very famous in the industry, right? So whoever is working on the Linux administrators, whoever is working on the system administrators, so whoever is working on the development teams, so everybody is hearing DevOps. So why the DevOps will come into the picture? So if you see this diagram, guys, okay, so we have the development team. I will explain clearly the diagrammatic. So earlier, if you take the industry here, so we have different types of the teams are working together. Like this is for development team, and this is for the QA team, right? So this is for the QA team, or we can say the operation team. So this is called as a development team. If you take any organization in the world, if you take any organizations in the world, so these two teams are working together, correct? So one is for a development team and the other one is for the application maintenance team. Application maintenance team. Maintenance team. So coming to the development team, so we have how many types of team are working together. So we have the developers, and we have the QA people, and we have the build engineers, guys. Okay. So what here I can also combine QA is also in the development team, build engineers. And coming to here, the application team is nothing but the system administrator, right? The system administrator, Linux administrator, system administrator, and we have web server and application server admin. So whatever you want, guys, okay, whatever you want. So other than the development, so whatever the configuration, we have so many tools in the world, right? We have so many tools in the world. So all the process, we can make it like this. All the process, So we can make it like this. So this is very important. These teams are working together. But what was the problem here? See, in their teams, everyone is having the SMEs, everyone is having the good people in the team. But why still the DevOps will come into the picture? So that is very important. So whenever we are doing some kind of deployment, right? So let's assume tomorrow we are planned for the production activity. Okay, so once the deployment is coming, after some time, so we are getting some kind of issues, guys. Some kind of issues. Okay, let us assume. So we are having some kind of intermittent issues or some kind of issues. It's causing our system. So in that scenario, if you ask to the developers, what developers are saying that? Tell me. If developers are saying that no, my code is working. So I'm not see, my code is working. Okay, but if the same thing, what they are they suggest, so they will do some kind of free suggestions, right? So go better you can go to the system admin, better you can go to the Linux team, you can check it one. The same way, Linux team also what they are saying. So no, there is no issue with the system administrator. So maybe the issue with the development team. Maybe the issue with the development team. So in that scenario, who is help us to troubleshoot the process? So here, so there is a lack in between the communication and collaboration in between the teams, right? There is a lack in between them. So in that scenario, the DevOps engineer will come into the picture. So the DevOps is nothing but, so it's a process, guys. Okay, it's a series of process and tools as a well-cultured practice with the company that encourages the collaboration in between the development. So please make sure from now onwards, guys. Okay, so the development team will help us. So some people are working together. So like developers, QAs, project management, or any build engineers, right? And coming to the operation people, so the operation people will help us, the administrator. So let's say if you want to deploy our application, right? We need a servers is required. Your server need to communicate with our internet. So all kind of resources will be taken care by operation people. Okay. So this is the DevOps. So after that, what happened when the DevOps will come into the picture? What is an advantage? I will show you clearly in the diagram itself. So like this. Okay. And here. See, so while collaborating, if you see this diagram, so we have the lag and communication gaps in between the team because we don't have any clue like where is the issue and what was the issue and how we can able to troubleshoot the process. Okay, so in that scenario, so I'm just giving the DevOps here. Right. Okay. DevOps. So what is an advantage here? If in between, if you have any issues, right, the DevOps engineer will be there, right? So he has the evidence. So how he provide the evidence? Because he is using some kind of tools. He is using some kind of tools in every perspective. So development team and deployment team, they are using some kind of tools, and monitoring wise, they are using some kind of tools, and configuration of the resources wise, they are using some kind of tools. So that's why guys, industry is monopoly. Nowadays, industry is monopoly. Why I call a monopoly? Because see, from now onwards, did anywhere you see the system administrator, Linux administrator, MQ admin, WebSphere admin, Tomcat admin? Nothing. There is a one guy will take care of all the things. That is the DevOps person. With the help of cloud, because nowadays the cloud is coming to the picture. Because why the organizations are not interested to manage their resources physically, right? The organizations are interested, so that's why they are going for the virtual. What is the what who will provide? We have different types of the vendors here like AWS, Azure, GCP. Okay, with the help of those things, our DevOps engineer will provisioning the resources, they can able to communicate with the application. So that's why during the cost cutting also, guys. Okay, nowadays only either full stack developer or DevOps engineer, only these two people are leading the team. And we have the QA is very important, right? So respect of that, QA is also be there. So maybe in coming days, the QA work will also be taken care by developers, or maybe the QA work will also taken care by DevOps engineers. If you do the automate, right? See, when we are doing the manual process, everything is there. If you do the automated, the DevOps will come into the picture. Okay. So in this diagram, so we can collaboratively working together. So if you didn't understand, so if you think this definition is very complex, so there is a one more definition. I can make it very simple, right? A culture and mindset for collaborating in between the developers and operations team, that is called as a DevOps. Okay, so DevOps is will talks about communication, understanding, integration, relationship. So you have the rights, guys. So once you join the DevOps team, so you have the right. You can question to the senior developer, you can question to the architect, and you can question to the product owner. Anyone you have the right. But think about, if you are a developer, even your developers are not able to see the production environment. See, most of the till today. So if you see the couple of teams, the till the developers are not able to see the production environment. But we can play any environment. That is an advantage for the DevOps guys. Okay, because so we are using some kind of automated tools and we are automating all the process. So in the DevOps process, so it's a communication, understanding, integration, and relationship. It is, we need to make sure this one, okay? So we can easily communicate. Let's say, let me tell you one small scenario so you can understand very clearly. Let us assume, so today we are, deployment is completed. So everyone is happy, right? Everyone is happy. But after some time, during the midnight, today evening at 7 o'clock, we did a production deployment. Okay. So production, everyone is gather the team like developers and QA
Good morning,
people.
sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Sir, Sujata here.
Yeah, hi Sujata. Yeah.
Sir, some people joined with the name Galaxy and Redmi, Realme like that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Guys, please change your names accordingly. Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
fine, Sujata. Thanks. So clear na? See, do you understand? Suppose today, I'm just explaining to you guys what is the necessity in the practical way. So today we are doing the deployment, production deployment, right? And when you're doing the production deployment at 7 o'clock, so till 9 o'clock everything is fine. So our program architects, everyone, and the QA people and operation people, everyone is saying that everything is working fine. So they went home. At midnight, 12 o'clock, we got a lot of issues. We got a calls from the customers. But here, who will help us? Who will help us to troubleshoot the process? Like where is the issue and what was the issue? Suppose if you don't have any DevOps process, same thing. If you don't have any, so guys, please mute yourself. Guys, please mute yourself. Yes. Okay. So if you don't have DevOps process, what happened to? So in between, okay, the lack of communication. Okay, where is the issue? Suppose some people are saying the developer, some people are telling the operation team. But when the DevOps will come into the picture, guys, what is an advantage? The DevOps person is already automated some kind of process when the deployment is happened. So he will automated to send a notification to the teams. Suppose if it is the development issue, they send an email to the developers. So how the DevOps can track it? They are using some kind of process. They are using some kind of process, guys. They are using some kind of automated tool. That is the DevOps toolkit. So we can say the DevOps implementation process. While we are doing the DevOps implementation process, so we are having four processes are very, very important. So there is a continuous integration, continuous delivery, and configuration management, and continuous monitoring. Okay, so these are the four pillars of the DevOps, guys, and we will discuss one by one. Okay, so in next 1 or 2 days, so we are going to test. You can get good knowledge on this. Okay, what is a continuous integration, continuous delivery, configuration management, and continuous monitoring, and what are the tools we are using, and how we are going to automate it in the project level. So everything is a practical session. So please make sure, guys, everything is a practical session. So for some people might be in your mind, right? So what about the theory, sir? So you no need to note down each and everything. I will provide the PPTs. I will provide the PPTs to you guys, and I will provide the interview questions, And if I have whatever the documents I have, so everything I will provide it to you. It is more than enough. And one more thing, so we already having the recording sessions every day. So just go through it. So at least you are spending 1 hour for a class. At least you guys are spend 1 more hour to improve your skills. Okay, so that it will be very easily. You can get job very easily on or before complete our sessions. Okay, na? Right. Now, what is our agenda? We know the agenda, right? We know the DevOps. DevOps is nothing but it's collaboration and communication between the team. Just it. For understanding this line, we are explaining this content, right? So it's a communication and collaboration in between the teams. Okay. Now, why the DevOps will come into the picture? So that is very important. Now we know the DevOps. DevOps is nothing but, okay, this is the communication and collaboration in between the team. So when the why the DevOps will come into the picture? So that thing you need to understanding about the software engineering, SDLC models. Why I'm telling, because see, suppose if we don't know how we are getting the project. See, as a DevOps engineer, in each and every perspective, you need to understand, guys. That is very important. So, what is going on in the development? So, no one will don't want to write a Java code or .NET code, okay? But you need to understand the process. So, how they are using and what are the versions they are going to release. Let's say today we are going to release some kind of versions. So, you are the responsible, and you are the responsible to keep track all the things. And if something went down, so you need to revert it back. You need to revert it back. So those kind of process you need to make sure. So it's not only for every time, not only for automation process, and sometimes we can also communicate with the different teams. Sometimes you can also communicate with the different teams, right? So if you want to know about why the DevOps will come into the picture, you need to understand the SDLC process. What is the meaning of SDLC? Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of SDLC? You guys might be heard in the academics, right? SDLC.
Software development life cycle.
Yeah, so that is not only for software, guys. Okay, this is for system development life cycle. Okay, na? System development life cycle. So it is not only for software. If you get any industry, if you go for a mechanical, if you go for electrical, if you go for software or any XYZ industry, so they are using some kind of process, that is system development life cycle. So when they are working on the system development life cycle, when we are working on the system development life cycle, so a wise man life cycle, that is a system development life cycle, gives the structure to madness of getting that. So, and one more thing, guys, I'm against about the theory. So you guys, I will just explain the understanding about the SDLC process. You can go through the theory. Okay. So SDLC is system development life cycle. So here, so whenever we got a project from the clients, let's say I got a project from the some XYZ client. So then we need to follow some kind of SDLC process. And there is a one more important, guys. Okay. So there is a one more interesting interview questions here. Okay. Suppose in the interviewer they will ask one small question. So whether you guys are working in DevOps or not. Okay. Suppose if I ask the question like this, suppose I want first of I want to do some. I got a call from client. I got a call from client, and they are saying that, and they need to deploy some feature into the production. So what you can do? Can anyone tell me that answer? Just you can tell me whatever you want. You got my point? Let us suppose you joined some XYZ organization. So during this organization, so you got a call from the client. He's saying that so you need to deploy for my changes. What you can do? So based on this answer, the interviews can understand you are working on the DevOps or not. Anyone post the answers? Not anyone. Everybody, please post your answers here so I can correct you.
Yeah, I'll collaborate with QA and
No. Please post. Please post here in the chat. So why I am asking this question? Because see, some people what happened. So if you are good at tools, if you are good at tools, if you are good at Digit, if you are good at Jenkins, but if you don't know about the process, and if you don't know about how why we are going to learn, there is no use, right? So the interviews are coming from first basic questions only. If you are unable to answer these kind of basic questions, then it will be very problem, right? Anyone posted in the chat? No, no one is posted. Latest code should be released to easy production successful UAT testing post production. Okay, Sai. Okay. Yes, Sai, that's correct. So you should not directly deploy them into the production. So even if you are in the client, guys, even if you are a client, if you are a request from the client, don't deploy into the production until and unless you are not getting any approved. Okay, what we can do? So first, we need to test, we need to work in the development environment. We need to development environment. Okay, development environment. Then we need to go for the qual environment for testing. And third one is, so after qual environment, we need to use some kind of environment. Either it should be UAT or CERT or any F test. Okay, anything will be there. Okay, some kind of, let's say, UAT or certain environment to test this configuration, to test the feature. And finally, and before that, we need to get approved. Approved. And fifth one is deploy them into the production. Okay, so please make sure whenever if anybody want to deploy them into the production, the first which is to be development QA UAT, get approved and deployment. That's why this is a process, guys. So someone is defined this process, and if you want to do any system, you need to do some kind of environment. Okay, for development we should not directly do in the production, right? We have some kind of separate environment, that is a development, and we have the separate environment, that is the QA, and we have the separate environment, that is for UAT and CERT, like this. Okay, so coming to here, SDLC process, the system development life cycle. Okay, in the SDLC process, we have the development team, and these are some kind of principles, guys. These are the principles in the SDLC process. These are the principles in the SDLC process. And what are the principles here? So blindly remember analysis and design. Okay, analysis and design, and we have the development, and we have the testing, and we have the pre-production and production, and we have the maintenance of the project. This is also very important. See, once your application is completed, okay, maintenance. Okay, once your application is completed, they should not leave you, guys. So today you deployed the production, right? Today we deployed the production. So after that, they should not leave you. Okay, so immediately, so you need to start a maintenance as well. If in between, if you get any issues if you get any issues, automatically you need to make sure you need to resolve those kind of issues. Okay, so how we can able to implement these things? For this, we have the SDLC process will be there. So just recap, guys, just recap your software engineering in your academics. So whoever is came from the BTech or BTech or MCA, you might be get one subject, software engineering, right? So during that time, so you might be do at the end, right, one day betting, right? So during that time, so we learn before the exam day, right? We learn each and everything, or we can use some slips and we can do that. But now, see, whenever we are learning any concept, guys, in your life, so that concept will work in anywhere. So that is very important, guys. Okay, that is very important. So SDLC implementation process. What are the SDLC implementation process? Okay, in SDLC implementation process, these are the process are available. Okay, yes. So principle of lean methodology. The first methodology is lean methodology, and before the lean methodology, there is one more methodology, guys. Waterfall model and spiral model, and I don't want to discuss them because those are outdated models. And so coming to the lean methodology, So eliminate the wastage, increase the feedback, delay the commitment, deliver the fast, build integrity, empower the team, the C whole. What is the meaning here? So when the lean methodology will come into the picture, so the feedback is coming to the figure. So suppose my requirement is I have the 4 candidates, right? So I need a 4 candidates. We need to recruit entire 4 candidates, guys, and within the candidates we need to feedback continuously. So whether it is working or not. Suppose so today we are doing some kind of implementation immediately. So you need to get some kind of commitment, right? What is the meaning here? So in the organization level, guys, organization level, so we are working some kind of guidelines, or we some kind of timelines, so we are using when we are getting the work, right? So based on the timelines, whether these people are working or not, if suppose they are not working, they can eliminate, and they can able to do the main intention is the lean methodologies empower the team. So they are working as a team, they are working as a team, and they can able to resolve the things in between. If any problem, so they can work together and they can resolve the collaboratively. And ITIL model, and this is the model, guys. In this model, this is the first model. So we invented 2 teams into the when we're working on the lean methodology. The problem is everyone is a single team only, everyone is the single team. But when we coming to the ITIL model, so we have the development team and we have the application maintenance team. So we just different, let's suppose we have the 6 people in the team. So 3 people will come, 3 people we can differentiate like development team, and 3 people will differentiate from the application maintenance team. So what developers can do that, developers can defining that and designing that and build the testing. So as per the SDLC process, so this analysis, design, development, testing, so each and everything will be taken care by development team. And parallelly, they can start working, guys. Okay. So pre-production and production and maintenance of the project. So that should be taken care by operation team. So optimize, operate, and deploy. So this is very important, guys. So parallelly, what they can do, suppose we got a project. Okay. So parallelly, so they can start working on the implementation, and parallelly they can create the servers where they can test it. See, even the developers are there, they are writing the code where they can test it. So without any application management team, there is no meaning of development team. Without development team, there is no meaning of application management. That's why the team is working as a collaboratively, and the team is working as a parallelly. Okay, so that is called it as a ITIL model. The next one is agile methodology. So this is the hot, guys. Nowadays most of the organization, not only for most, 95% of the organizations are following the agile model. Okay, agile model, what is the meaning of agile model? So why the people are interested about the instead of existing SDLC model, why the people are working on the agile environment? Because why I'm telling, guys, because once you join the organization, okay, so each and everyone will create the tasks or user stories, and they can able to track it. So I will explain what is the user stories and what are the process they are following. Let us assume I want to develop my project into the 30 days. I want to develop my project into 30 days, right? So that is our agenda. So within 30 days, so what agile will be there? It will be sprint. Okay, it is acting as a sprint, and we can differentiate your work. Okay, from 1 to 10 days, 1 to 10 days, 10 to 20 days, 20 to 30 days. Let us assume like this: 1 to 10 days, 10 to 20 days, 20 to 30 days. So let us assume our entire future, our entire application will be converted into n number of features. Those features is called as a user stories. User stories. Okay, those feature is called as a user story. Let us assume, so entire my project is converted into some kind of user stories. That user stories is nothing but 6. So then what we can do, we can convert your entire timeline into different types of sprint. Sprint is nothing but, so some organization they are using 1 month, some organization they are using 10 days, some organization they are using 2 weeks, but most of the organization, guys, they are using 2 weeks only. Okay, so blindly you remember in your mind. Okay, and one more thing, guys, and one more interview questions, they will come like this. So in which model your implementation? This is very important. In which model your implementation? You can see the agile. What is the meaning of agile? And what are the processes you are implementing? So because if you say that, no, I don't know agile, I'm working only for Git. Don't say like that. Don't say like that. So this is one of the implementation process. Okay. So even the work is different. The main managing is different, guys. Okay. The work is different. But how we can able to collaboratively communicate for all the developers and all the people in the team and collaboratively work and working together, some process is required. That process is an agile process. Okay. So 10 days we need to develop two features, and 10 to 20 days we need to develop the two features, and 20 to 30 days we are going to deliver two features. So this is our agenda, right? 1 to 10 days, 10 to 20 days, 20 to 30 days, correct? And coming to here, so 1 to 10 days, I can differentiate some timeline as per the SDLC process, right? So 1 to 5 days, I can go for the development, and 6 to 7 days, I can go for the testing, and 8 to 9 days, we will go for the pre-production, and 10th day, we will go for the production, guys. So this is our plan. Okay, this is our plan. Your superiors is already committed to the client. Hey client, we will deliver your entire project in 30 days. So instead of that, so first 1 to 10 days we will deliver two features. We will deliver one more two features in 20 days. We will deliver one more two features in 30 days. They made some kind of agreement like that. Okay, but the problem here, when we are planning, that is fine. That is a sprint planning, guys. In first day of the sprint, okay, they can start a sprint planning. In the sprint planning, so each and every team, okay, like the development team and application team, manage, each and every member will gather the call, and they can differentiate the work. They can differentiate the work. So that concept is called it as a backlog grooming. Backlog grooming is nothing but, so whenever, suppose right now my project is will start in the sprint of 11th November. Okay, so today before end of the sprint, so they can start working on the backlog grooming. So if any backlogs are nothing but what happened, suppose you got some kind of errors, or you got some kind of enhancement. If that enhancement will be dependent to some other people, what they can do, we can move it as a backlog. We will see in the later. So forget about it. So but as per the process, so we can differentiate about these things, and 1 to 5 days you can go for the development and testing, pre-production, production. Okay, but when we coming to the implementation, what was the challenges here? But 1 to 5 days, everything is going smooth, guys, because we have every developer will differentiate our work. They can start in their local machine. That is working fine. But coming to the testing, what they can do? Can anyone tell me? In 2 days, we can go for the testing. In coming to the testing, so what they can do? Any idea? Any idea, guys? Coming to the testing. No, don't worry, guys. Even if it is wrong or right, you can just paste in that. So that is a good practice, right? No, don't cover Git. Why it is showing Git, right? So I'm asking, so testing is nothing but, so we need a separate environment, right? So whoever is developers are working there individually, so they can able to gather all the application code, and they can able to test it. They can integrate the project, and they can able to testing. But here lot of challenges, guys. But here the lot of challenges will come into the picture. And what was the challenges here? What was the challenges here? The first challenge. So some developers working in their local machine, that is working fine. When we are moving to the separate environment, it should be operating system compatibility, and it should be okay. And one more thing, so two developers are working on the same file. So because of one developer change, it should be affected. That is also be affected. So what we can do, instead of testing, first we need to integrate the project. So for the integration to resolving that issue, when we are planning, so please make sure the planning is different, implementation is different. When we are planning, So we didn't notice these kind of things. But when we're coming to the implementation, so we got these kind of things, right? So in that scenario, what they can do? So 5 days extra. So his client will happy to take 5 days extra for one sprint. What about the for the rest of the sprint? It will take 45, correct? We need to deliver your project to 30 days, then 45 days. So your client will unhappy, and even your superiors will also start blaming us, correct? So then how we can able to resolve it? So here the DevOps engineer will come into the picture. Here the DevOps engineer will come into the picture to do some kind of automations and to reduce the process. So how we can do that? So here what happened? So when we are going to start a integration testing we are happening into the 6th, 7th day. Instead of that, if you do integration first day itself, then automatically our issues will be resolved. So who will help us to integrate all these things? If we ask to developers saying, no, I have a lot of work because I know only for development. QA people, I know only for testing. So here the DevOps engineer will come into the picture. They are using some kind of tools in the DevOps implementation process and they can automate the process. Okay. So how we can do that? So in that scenario, first they can keep, let's say, they are keeping some code in the Git, guys, correct? So every developer of the end of the day, they are keeping some shared location that is called as a Git to keep application code. And next one is we are using some kind of build tools to automate the process, right? So to convert the packages. See, project is nothing but a files. Project is nothing but a programs. So how many in project, how many programs will be there? It should be 1,000 or 2,000 programs will be there. It's very difficult to manually compiling the programs, right? So then we are using some kind of tool that is called as a Maven in the Java perspective, okay, to compile and validate the project. To compile, validate, and packaging the project. Packaging is nothing but here there is the var and jar. Forget about this. So don't suppose if you feel it's very difficulty while understanding this, just you can imagine the diagram. Okay. So whenever we are going to each and every tool, I will explain in depth. Okay. ER file. Okay. Next one is we need some kind of artifact. We need some kind of tool. We can store some kind of performance, sonar, or Nexus. So Nexus are nothing but to store the packages. So even the DevOps is there or not this, these tools, some tools are still working, right? So finally we are going to deploy them to the Tomcat server, one server, right? This is called as a Tomcat server. Tomcat server. Okay. So first day, everyone working, they are doing manually. When they will start, it will start on the 6th day. Instead of that, what they can do, the DevOps engineer will automate the continuous integration. They are using some kind of the tool that is called Jenkins. Let us assume Jenkins is the DevOps side, so they can able to automate it, right? So to get the code, the first scenario, to get the code. So what they can do, every developer will commit the code, correct? Every developer at the end of the day, they can able to commit the code. When they commit the code, automatically we can automate this process. In first day itself, it should be integrated, it should be compiled, it should be packaged, and it should be delivered. So in that scenario, we can use some kind of automation tool, Jenkins, and to implement all the steps. Okay, first step, to get a code from Git. Second step, to compile and packaging. Third step, to send packages. Fourth step, deploy them into the server. Okay, so here how the process will happen now. So this continuous integration tool will automate integrate each and every tool in the application toolkit, right? And if something went wrong, they can send an email notification to team as well. So that this automation will taken care by DevOps. So after implementation this kind of DevOps process, what happened? So first day, guys, every developer, we have 5 developers, right? So every 5 developers will working on their locally. At the end of the day, let us assume 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. they can commit their code into the Git. automatically it should be automated. The Jenkins itself, it should be automated. It should be compiling the code and packaging the code and everything. First day itself, it should be deployed. But earlier when it was happened, earlier after 6 days, we need to start this integration process as a manual process. Okay, then second day, suppose if any issues on the first day, then it should be resolved. Suppose if the issues are not resolved, then we should not start the new kind of enhancements. Then like if we come to the 5th days, guys. So if we come to the 5th days, all integration will be resolved, testing will be resolved, and whatever you want. Okay. And finally, 6th day, we will go for the pre-production, and 7th day, we will go for the production. See, guys, when we are doing the automation, your days reduces to 50%. Earlier, without any automation, if you want to collaboratively manually, it is taking 15 days time to complete the work. But now when we are going for the automation, it is having 7 days. So that's why the DevOps engineer very powerful in the team, guys. Okay, so he has some process, he has some kind of tools to integrate each and every environment, and they can able to test it. Okay, that is called it as a continuous integration. The continuous integration is nothing but to automate each and every process. That is called it as a continuous integration. And one more thing, agile. Okay, agile is nothing but, so it is DevOps will also call it as extension of the agile implementation. It is also, some people are, they can also saying that so agile is also one of the SDLC implementation, DevOps is also one of the implementation process. It is an extension of the agile. What is the meaning here? If your organization having the agile model, so we have some DevOps process, agile plus DevOps process, that is a successful combination. Okay, why the DevOps? This is the technical benefits. So continuous software delivery. See, why I can say continuous software delivery in future, right? In future, if I add, suppose tomorrow, if I add any kind of new kind of enhancement, automatically it should be deployed within fraction of seconds, right? Within fraction of seconds, it should be deployed. Less complex resource problems. Okay, culture. So culture is nothing but productivity, which is very important. In the organization level, they are expecting some kind of productivity. Okay, higher employee engagement. And one more thing, so professional development opportunities, guys. Some days what happened, if the people are continuously working on Java, continuously working on Linux administration, they can able to migrate to the DevOps, and they can able to do some kind of new kind of challenges. That is the benefits. See, let me tell you one thing, guys. So the organization level, earlier days, if the guy start working on the Java, they can start working on the Java. But nowadays, not like that. So that totally changed, right? Totally changed. If you want to move any other technology, you can easily move it. But the thing is, you need to do hard. You need to do very hard work initial days, then automatically it should be happening. Okay. And next one is, so benefits, and these are the benefits are available. And DevOps practices, right? DevOps practices like continuous integration, like whatever we give some kind of scenario, right? So why we need to go for that is will help. And tomorrow we are going to explain very clearly like the DevOps process, like continuous integration, continuous delivery, and configuration management and collaboration, each and everything we will discuss very clearly. And before going to that, so I'm going to explain, so what are the toolkit and what are the process we are going to discuss during our sessions. Okay, so let me explain. So first thing is, guys, so the scope of the this is for, and one more thing, the guy who is don't have experience, real-time experience, don't worry about it, and I will help you on it. Okay, na, will help you on it. And what you guys you learn in this continuous deployment, integration, development, management, some kind of tools. Okay, so anyone who had minimum idea about the infrastructure, SDLC process, real world, even you don't have knowledge, the SDLC process we already discussed for today. For some way, at least you have some idea, right? And for infrastructure, so whoever is don't have experience on the infrastructure wise, don't worry about it. So before going to start with the cloud or anywhere, I will explain the Linux basics as well. Okay, so that Linux infrastructure basics will help us to clearly understand the system. The first thing is SDLC process, guys. SDLC model, agile, why DevOps, till these two we completed today, right? These two we completed today. So rest of them we are going to continue from tomorrow onwards. And first tool in the market, once it is completed, Git. So we are going to discuss the first continuous integration tool, Git. In that we are going to discuss all these concepts like versioning, local repository, Git installation, repository, forking, fetch, each and everything, guys. So whatever the advanced concepts are coming till date, so we are going to each and everything. And one more thing, so we don't want to go for hurry. Okay. So suppose if you guys are not clear in this concept, so you should not go for the further concept. So first we need to clear this concept, then we will go for the further concept. So that is very important. So then we will go for the Maven, then we will go for the Jenkins. So till Git, Maven and Jenkins, we are going to make one kind of setup. So once this is completed, then we will jump into the cloud, AWS cloud, guys. So in the AWS cloud, so we are also discussing 10 plus services. So what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside these services, we have lot of sub concepts are there, 10 plus services. I'm telling you honestly. So if you guys are learning AWS, you no need to go any other. Okay, you no need to go refer anywhere. Okay, so just go through these kind of resources, go through, just listen these resources. It is enough to crack the interviews. Okay, it's not only for cracking the interviews. So cracking the interviews is not very simple, guys, but surveying the job, that is more important, right? So if you guys are learning these contents, so you can happily up to 4 to 5 years, so you can manage up to 4 to 5 years experience, you can able to manage. And after the Terraform, okay, Terraform. So once AWS and Terraform is completed, then we will come under Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible. Okay, so Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible. So there are 4 tools in the market. So out of these tools, if you guys are good at Docker, Kubernetes, AWS, and Terraform, so these 4 tools are so key tools in the market, guys. Okay, if the if the organization is seeing these 4 tools in your resume, you will get lot of calls. So if you are good at all rest of all the tools, if you don't know the Docker and Kubernetes, no one will call you. No one will call you. You got it, na? So I will share this course content to you guys, and if you feel, suppose after sometimes suppose if you feel that after some time, so some concept is missing here, so you can happily telling us. Okay, you can happily tell us, we will discuss each and everything. Okay, na? So coming to the questions from duration of the course, so from duration we have 50 to 60 days, 2 months course, and within 2 months course I will give all the practical knowledge in all the tools. Any questions from your end? Any questions?
Yeah, just want to understand. What I understand from this session is DevOps is a model.
Yeah.
They are using some process
Yeah.
to deploy the codes. Whatever code written by the developers, they will deploy that code into.
Yeah, that is only for one perspective, right? That is only for continuous integration, and we have the continuous configuration management, continuous delivery, continuous monitoring is there. So next session I will explain those process as well. Understand? So that is call it as a collaboratively. It is not only for one way. So we have in different ways we can go for the automation. Got it, Madhu?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
For that we are using some kind of tools. So for those tools we are working together. Any other questions? Guys, please ask your questions, guys. Don't keep any questions in your mind. See, if I directly explain to you the Git or anything, so no one will understood, right? So first we need to understand the why the DevOps will come into the picture, and why we are going to learn this one. Any other questions? Okay, I will ask that. Balakrishna, any questions from your end? Tarani?
No, sir.
Dilip?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Nagarjuna? Raja?
No, sir.
Sai, Shiva, Srihari, Srinath, Vish. Okay, so do one thing, guys. If you don't have any questions, so we will stop for today. So tomorrow we are going to see the continuous integration. So we will try to complete all the theory things tomorrow. We will try to complete all the theory things tomorrow. Okay, na? And I will also help you day after tomorrow. We will discuss rest of the things. Thank you, guys. Bye. So in the PPT, I already mentioned the tools as well, and what are the tools we are going to discuss. Thank you, guys. Bye.